When you are in the park with your family and suddenly one of your children tells you, Dad or Mom, I'm using the middle example now, Dad, there's this weird smell around here. It's stinking, Dad. Then you ask your son, where is it stinking? Over here. You follow your son, 4 years old, and he leads you to some bush. And he says, Dad, check it out. You really have no intention of doing it, but you know what, let me check it out. When you check out, you realize, oh dear, there's a corpse over here. So what do? You call the police. The CIA comes. They lock off the crime scene to keep other people out. They begin to take samples, take photographs. They remove the corpse after taking pictures. What are they going to do at the forensics, at the forensic anthropologists? They're going to examine the corpse. If they see that, there are bruises on the bones, that means that there was a fight. An individual died during a fight. And they say, there's something like a stabbing wound over here. Then they knows, okay, someone was stabbed. That's how they conduct their investigation. They look at the evidence and they reconstruct the most likely scenario. And just like your child smelled a stench and he decided to inform you so that someone will look after it because he couldn't do it on himself, decided to also do forensic research. Now, this video is not about forensic research. Let's be clear. Let's translate that same attitude towards daily life. Just like a forensic anthropologist examines a corpse, if you would examine daily life and other people in a similar way, you would figure out many weird things. For example, let's say that someone you encounter keeps apologizing all the time, even when they are not wrong. Then that's a symptom that they have a trauma in which they were often accused unjustly and they apologize just to prevent from being attacked. So you know now there's some type of narcissistic abuse that happened in their past. So let's say you talk with an individual further. You realize that they are on good terms with their relatives. But then you are making a calculation. If they keep apologizing all the time because they're frightened that they may upset you, it means that they have a trauma. That means that while they were growing up, people were intimidating them over and over again, and they are afraid of being attacked. So if this happens and they are on good terms with their relatives, that's a red flag. Because if they are on such good terms with their relatives, why didn't the relatives stand up for them? Or why didn't they find healing by the comfort and support of their relatives? So you know now already that something's off with those relatives. And let's say now you meet those relatives one time. They're kind towards you, you're kind back, but then you do a background check. You realize that all those relatives have deep-rooted anger issues. And now you know what's going on. The people in that family have anger issues they don't want to deal with, and they used to target that woman that you just met, or that man you just met. So, by applying a forensic attitude to daily life, you will be able to figure things out very quickly. But here's the thing you need to be watchful about. Sometimes it's good not to inform someone they've been scammed. Let's say you have a guy who has been mistreated his whole life. He never realized how bad people treat him. And one day he encounters you and you treat them in a very good way. That's going to overwhelm him. That alone. But if you also tell him plainly, the way the people around you have been treating you is not correct, he may think about it, and if he's not capable of processing it, he may escalate on those people and horrible things may happen. And what's going to happen? Let's say you inform someone that people have been treating him like shit or whatever. And later he escalates on those people. He ends up stabbing some of those people. He ends up really causing a lot of trouble. People are going to blame you. The community is going after you. They'll forget all about the fact that it was a victim fighting back. You informed the victim he was being victimized and he fought back. And it turned out ugly. They're not even going to look at the fact that this guy or this girl was victimized for years by the community. They're going to be angry at you for shedding light on the darkness of the community. Look, sometimes you see a corpse and you don't inform people you saw a corpse. It's figurative. It's not literal, but you get what I'm saying. Just because you notice a corpse doesn't mean you have to broadcast that you found the corpse. Sometimes it's best to inform the right people and keep your mouth shut about what you saw. Because too often when we see something that doesn't end up, we just broadcast it. And those that hear about it can be triggered because they don't want to deal with anything, or the victims may be triggered into escalation. So just beware. Just because you saw a corpse doesn't mean you should broadcast it on mainstream media. It's a saying, it's figurative, but apply it to your life. Be at peace.